zone of Virgo. So, if you were born between August 22nd and August 31st, you're in the first zone of Virgo. The element is air, and the sign ruler is also Virgo. The energy field is mutable, and Virgo plus Virgo equal meticulous performance. Current life scan for the Virgo first zone. Your soul anticipated getting into a well-organized and busy life. Being born in the first zone of Virgo puts you right on the front lines and dealing with details. You make a good, reliable worker. There isn't anything you can't organize if your heart is in the job. Business instincts are always in your mind and easily accessed at the spur of any given moment. This is a strong, service-oriented zone. You aren't afraid to roll up your sleeves to see a plan through to the end. Problem solving is a part of your life resume. Health and diet may be subjects of interest. You are mentally sharper when you exercise and get enough rest. There is a drive to be thorough when you find a life pursuit that captures your passion. You can become compulsive in trying to be too perfect. A primary drive is to keep perfecting your skills and to show your ability confidently. You believe in commitments as long as they prove useful. There is an attraction to practical-minded people. When you worry less and enjoy life more, you find inner peace. You prefer that friends and lovers share your pragmatic views. Taking a risk is not your first impulse, but you can surprise yourself and others by sensing what makes a solid investment. You like to establish routines because a structured life seems more dependable. Trying new experiences is wise as they keep you mentally challenged and stimulated. Past life patterns for the Virgo first zone. The past life issues for you were connected to three themes. One was being overly critical of others. Even your own ideas were negated by self-criticism. The second area involved a lack of imagination. You were afraid to dream of a better life. The third front was excessive worry. You didn't always indulge in these trends, but when you did, life was not as enjoyable or rewarding. Picky. You had an ability to see the flaws in others. The problem was that you used this against them too often, which disrupted the flow in your relationships. Even your work area was affected because people resented your criticism when it lacked sensitivity. It was a compulsive repetition of pointing out individuals' mistakes that made them upset with you. You were not very good at patching wounds you caused because your tendency was to keep right on criticizing. This was a case of possessing a well above average talent to see details, but lacking the insight to shut off the verbal attacks. Picking apart the ideas of others or things you did not like caused great disharmony in your relationships. Turning this negativity on your own thoughts and plans also held you back. It kept you from accomplishing goals. Your inner dialogue didn't make room for the positive reinforcement that you were badly in need of when this pattern was too dominant. Too finely sifted. In this pattern, you were trapped by your left brain. Your logical mind drowned out your intuitive side on a regular basis. You were analytical to the extreme, sifting through ideas again and again. You didn't allow for enough idealism and dreaming to come through. You were too serious and not having enough fun. Your spiritual side was not easily accessed in your right brain, although it would have been a great help when you encountered self-doubt. You relied too much on the physical plane and neglected to develop your intuitive side and give it an opportunity to help you. A lack of faith in what you could not see with your eyes or hear with your ears prevented you from a deeper understanding of life's mysteries. The romantic in you was limited in that you didn't think as much of ideals as you did of grounded earthly ideas. 9 to 5. You had a long past life history of putting your nose to the grindstone, as the old saying goes. This means you believed in hard work. You became fixated on working to such an extent that you didn't make time for any celebration. This intensity to achieve your serious goals made for all work and no play as a repeating pattern. Mental and physical exhaustion resulted when you did not pace your schedule. You alienated people trying to get to know you on an emotional level when you were more in love with jobs than people. You tended to worship routines. This limited your options in that you too quickly ruled out growing through new experiences. Extreme anxiety. You were the classic worrier. Even when you had the best that life could offer, you found ways to worry. It kept you from enjoying what you had. You were a perfectionist in several incarnations. If something got out of order or interfered with your daily habits, it upset you. A compulsive focus on lack was another side to this pattern. Your mind kept waiting for something to go wrong, even during the best of times. You had trouble staying centered. This behavior drained your energy and kept you from concentrating on goals. Illumination for the current life. If these Virgo first zone patterns have reoccurred in this lifetime, try not to worry. There are ways to navigate through them. You will need to chart a new course to get better results. It can take regular effort to make a long-seated pattern work for you. The picky pattern needs you to aim your mental intensity into more productive directions. Positive energy has to be carefully nurtured and grown in the same way you might build a business. It takes time and extra care to ensure its success. You need to fertilize your mind with a new type of thinking. When you stop using that wonderful intellect to criticize yourself or others, you allow for new possibilities. You attract good fortune through eliminating what has not been working for you. Your relationships can improve, and that people won't want to distance themselves from your verbal onslaughts. You can retrain your mind not to react impulsively with a critical tongue. In the too finely sifted pattern, developing your intuitive right brain helps you from getting snagged by endless details. Being born in this first zone with its repeating Virgo emphasis gives you an extra edge on any other sign zone when it comes to noticing details. This talent helps you to be very efficient. Balancing this left brain natural reflex with some right brain magic is a wise thing to do. Why? It gives you extra sensory insight, which takes a load off of your mind. When you only operate from the left brain, it's like being stuck in first gear and not using the other resources available to you. You could read some books on tapping into intuitive energy or take a class on working with intuition. The 9-to-5 rut becomes integrated into creative self-expression by taking that passion for work and redirecting it into play now and again. You can do it. Children need play because it develops their mind. Both the right and left brain hemispheres find great balance when you combine work and play. The emotional and romantic sides of you need equal playing time. Reward your hard work by taking the time to celebrate. People will want to be a bigger part of your life when you give them a chance to participate. Hobbies, vacations, and socializing round out your life. You will have greater creative drive if you get a break from work. Your intuition gains clarity and your conscious mind finds clear perceptions when you add variety. Going beyond everyday routines gives you vitality and strengthens your immune system. The extreme anxiety pattern can be tranquilized through learning to have more faith. Nobody is without some degree of worry. You just happen to have more anxiousness than in others because you have an extra sharp mind for details, being in the first zone, Virgo. It's the little things that can trip you up. Try to focus more on the broad perspective and not fret so much about each small step along the way. You can go back and make adjustments. When a team is losing at halftime, they don't just quit. The coach needs to come up with a change in strategy. You need to do the same. Give yourself permission to let life get somewhat out of order. This may not be easy, but it's not as difficult as you might think. Life can get messy and then ease back into place again. Think of your projects or goals as a process. Enjoy the journey of life instead of focusing only on the destination. And finally, roadmap to your empowerment. The first zone of Virgo is a get down to business terrain. Being born in this zone fills your mind with an insatiable curiosity to study a subject from the inside out. You are driven to understand details. The challenge is not getting too worried by them. Learning new skills excites you. You can excel in service-oriented professions. Finding a cause to dedicate your time may be the heartfelt quest. The key to your personal empowerment is communicating from your heart as well as your mind. This particular sign zone gives you an intellect that can be carefully guard emotions. Giving equal time to your ideas and feelings deepens your insights. You have excellent business skills and can adapt quickly to all types of work environments. Live your life outside of well-defined routines, and you will have more fun. Your creative power multiplies quickly when you take a chance and don't live every day the same. When you allow for outside interference in your regular habits, interesting surprises occur. You meet new people and find alternative doors to enter. You usually seek stability first, and that's fine. Just don't forget to try new things, because they stimulate you to see with refreshed eyes. And that is the end of the first zone of Virgo.